Hello everyone. Today I will be demonstrating a Python-based security scanning tool that checks for vulnerabilities in web applications. Our target for this demonstration is OWASP Juice Shop, a deliberately vulnerable web application designed for ethical hacking and security research. Throughout this session, I will guide you through the implementation of the code, run the scanner, and thoroughly explain the output. Finally, we will compare our custom tool with Nikto, a well-known web vulnerability scanner. So let's get started. So before running this scan, let's quickly walk through the how script works. The script is written in Python and performs several security tests, including uh, including basic authentication testing, which checks for weak username password combinations, SSL/TLS security checks, which identifies encryption protocols and certificate details, server information disclosure, which determines if sensitive server details are exposed, HTTP methods testing, finds risky HTTP methods like put, delete, or trace. Content security policy check ensures the site has proper security headers. Directory traversal testing tries to access certified tries to access restricted files using URL manipulation. Cross-site request forgery (CSRF) checks looks for missing CSRF protection in forms. Web shell detection scans for hidden backdoors like malicious PHP shells. Open ports testing finds open network ports that could be exploited. Brute force protection check, which determines if login pages are vulnerable to brute force attacks. So the script runs this test efficiently using multi-threading, ensuring a quick and detailed security scan. So now let's run this script by providing our target URL. So as we scan progresses, we receive detailed results for each test. So let's analyze them one by one. So as you can see these three lines, the scanner tested whether the web server allows risky HTTP methods like put, delete, and trace. Since all these methods are blocked, JuShop has implemented proper security controls to prevent unauthorized modification and tracing attacks. So in this next four line, we can see the scanner checks for open ports that attackers could exploit. Here we see that ports 80, 443, 8080 and 8443 are all closed, which means the site is not exposing unnecessary entry points to potential attackers. So this is a good security practice. So in the next this line we can see there are three no directory traversal vulnerability lines. So here it is, and here it is, and here. So these three lines, in this scanner attempts to access restricted files using directory traversal attacks. Since these attacks failed, the web server is correctly preventing unauthorized file access. So, in this line, the scan reveals that the web server is using the Cowboy server framework. Exposing such details publicly can be dangerous, as attackers can look up vulnerabilities specific to this version and exploit them. So above this the content security policy header missing. So this indicates that the website does not implement a content security policy. A content security policy helps prevent cross-site scripting attacks by restricting which resources a page can load. The absence of this header makes the site more vulnerable to injection attacks. So in this line, brute force protection, the scanner detects that there is no brute force protection on the login page. This means an attacker could continuously try different username password combinations without getting blocked, which is a significant security risk. So in this line, the scan has flagged a potential web shell at backdoor.php. Web shells allow attackers to execute commands remotely on the server, and their presence usually indicates a compromise. If this file exists, it should be removed immediately. So, which lines are remaining? Okay. So in this line, CSRF token is missing in forms. So the scanner identifies that the site does not use CSRF tokens in its forms. This means an attacker could craft malicious requests and trick authenticated users into performing unintended actions on their accounts. So in this line, so this is a critical vulnerability. The scanner found that the username admin with password 123 grants access to the system. So the weak credentials like this make it easy for the attackers to gain unauthorized access. So, so in this line, SSL certificate details. So the scanner retrieves the SSL certificate details, showing that it was issued by DigiCert and is valid until 24 October. This ensures that the site uses HTTPS encryption, protecting user data in transit. So here was the information of the output of the script. So before ending, we will do the comparison of this script with Nikto. So now that we have seen our scanner in action, let's compare it with Nikto, a well-known web vulnerability scanner. So talking about the similarity, both our tool and Nikto check for authentication weaknesses, SSL issues, HTTP method security, and missing security headers. Talking about the advantages of Nikto, Nikto has a larger vulnerability database, making it more effective in detecting outdated software and known exploits. It also provides more detailed server fingerprinting. Talking about the advantages of our tool, our scanner provides additional checks that Nikto lacks, such as brute force protection detection. Our tool specifically checks if login pages have protection against repeated login attempts. Web shell detection. Our scanner actively looks for malicious backdoors like backdoor.php. Basic authentication testing. Our tool checks for weak username password combination, whereas Nikto does not. So let's conclude. So in the conclusion, to summarize, we implemented and executed a custom Python-based scanner against OWASP Juice Shop, analyzed the output in detail, and compared our tool to Nikto. Our scanner successfully identified authentication weaknesses, SSL issues, server misconfigurations, missing security headers, and brute force vulnerabilities. While it lacks Nikto's extensive vulnerability database, it provides unique features like brute force protection detection and web shell identification. For real world security assessments, it's best to use multiple tools together. Combining the strengths of our scanner with Nikto and other professional vulnerability assessment tools. That concludes our demonstration. Thank you.